Hello and welcome to Season 3, Episode 34 of the Push Podcast. This is the podcast for senior marketers who want to up their stakeholder management, listen to strategy talk, or simply feel seen. I'm your host, Jack Ferguson. I'm a brand consultant with over 15 years' experience in marketing across more than 20 industries. Today's episode is a solo episode. I do solo episodes in between the fortnightly discussions I have with other senior marketers for the simple reason that this format allows me to share a shorter story, like explore a topic more deeply without the unpredictability that can come with co-hosting, but most importantly, give you something so you don't have to wait a fortnight for an episode release every time. Now, today I'm talking about the tension between short-term sales activation and long-term branding. Every marketer that I've known has faced this before, so today I want to talk about it. How do you convince stakeholders to invest in the future when they're obsessed with this month's numbers? It's understandable from their perspective. I want to start there. If you're a business owner or financially invested, short-term wins feel good, they're measurable, immediate. But as we know, if all you ever do is chase short-term gains, you never actually build a foundation, you never build momentum, you just have to keep grinding quarter after quarter after quarter. You don't build brand equity for the future. So here's how I show others the value of long-term brand building. Number one is to start with the Binet Field research. If you haven't seen it before, there's a famous graph from their paper titled The Long and the Short of It, and it shows that sales activation alone plateaus over time. So you'll see spikes with sales activation, but then it will return to a baseline, and then it'll spike, and then it will return to a baseline. And you never actually grow. You just keep on getting that spike and drop off, spike and drop off. But when you combined it with brand building, that's when real business growth happens. It's not either or, it's both. So that graphic is usually pretty powerful to show to non-marketers, to show how brand building can actually grow the business over time, where just a focus on sales activation will spike sales here and there, but they'll keep returning to the baseline if you just chase short term. Now, I'll include a link to this in the description of the episode so you can go and get this graphic for yourself and to show it to all your non-marketer friends. The other thing I often do is I show how long-term brand work can improve short-term metrics. So as a brand grows stronger, as you build brand equity, as we know, your short-term sales activation numbers start to look better. They get cheaper and more effective. So conversion costs will drop, acquisition costs come down. And that's because, as we know, people already know and trust your brand before you show up with your activation or direct response message. So they're already aware of you. You ask them to buy, they're more inclined to do it. Makes conversions come down. It makes acquisition costs drop. So talking about those metrics with stakeholders and how with brand building over time, you expect those numbers to come down can be quite effective. And you can almost say that without the long-term branding work, those short-term metrics will actually go the other way. They're going to degrade. So your conversion costs will increase and your acquisition costs will increase as well. So with brand building, short-term metrics should begin to improve. The other thing you can look at is now we have access, especially for SMEs, we have brand metrics that can be tracked. So it used to be a black box brand building, but it isn't anymore. So a tool like Tracksuit, which is suited to B2C companies, is basically an always-on affordable brand tracking platform that provides insights into brand health metrics like awareness, consideration, and preference. So over time, you can show your stakeholders how awareness is going up, how consideration for your brand is going off, and how preference is going up. So this is helping us measure and communicate the impact of our brand building efforts to non-marketers or stakeholders. And we can also tie these metrics back to commercial outcomes without spending a fortune on, say, a market research company, which you would have had to in the past. If we use tools like Tracksuit, we're not asking people to throw money at vague ideas anymore. We're measuring brand equity and how it is increasing. We're learning, we're showing progress. Because brand building as well does produce short-term results. It's just not specifically designed to produce short-term sales. It's more about priming future buyers to buy, as we know. A short-term result may be that awareness will go up. Not more people bought, but awareness did go up. A short-term result, but didn't necessarily drive short-term sales yet. So those are a few ways that I sell in long-term brand building. I will link to the Binet Field research. I will link to Tracksuit in the episode description. And it's a way for you to tie brand building to growth and accountability. Because as we know, short-term sales activation is great, but if anybody wants to eventually stop grinding and start growing, They need to build a brand that does some of the heavy lifting for them. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.